We're coming out today to try and find sites for our target species, which is the barn owl. So we want to put up boxes for barn owls in Ealing that will be used, and the sites we're looking for need to have good hunting ground nearby. They need to be a little bit off the beaten track so that they're not disturbed too much by the public, and they need to be safe and in the appropriate trees for the barn owls so that they're going to see them and find it a good place to nest. So we're just at our first site now. The rangers in Ealing have told us there's a couple of trees here that might be suitable, so we're going to go take a look.
We manage these meadows mostly as wildflower meadows, so they're cut once a year at the end of summer and the hay is collected, and over time that encourages the wildflowers and all the creatures that feed upon them. But we started leaving a thick margin at the edge of the field, and that's left to grow, and maybe we'll cut it back every few years. But this sort of dense grass, rarely cut, provides habitat for small mammals and the type of creatures that the owls will need to feed upon. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes over the next few years.
We found one oak tree that looks absolutely perfect for barn owls, so I think that's where we'll put our first box. It faces out into good hunting habitat, so hopefully any passing barn owls over the next few months will see it and investigate it as a nesting site. It's also quite close to grassy kind of field margins that would be very good for voles and mice, which the barn owl preys on. And crucially, in an urban environment, it's not too close to big roads. Road casualties are a very large cause of death for barn owls. Where they're crossing roads from one hunting ground to the other, they often succumb to traffic. So fingers crossed we've got like one really good barn owl site. The other thing we've looked for is we know there's little owls nesting here, and they have nested in a box in the past, but the box we found actually isn't very suitable, and at the moment it has a squirrel resident, which isn't ideal. So we might look at replacing that for little owls and hopefully get them breeding again here. The type of tree we're looking for barn owls in particular is very like the tree behind us, but unfortunately that's not on council land, so we can't use that one. But it's a good tree because it looks out onto prime hunting habitat. This is rough grassland where you'll get a lot of voles and things that the barn owls will prey on. It's also got a clear flight path right up to the tree, so they don't like to nest in woods, they like to nest in a standalone tree where they can see the hole to nest in. So we're looking for a tree that looks out onto hunting grounds and has a clear flight path up to it, so they'll notice our box and investigate it as a nest site. We found a tree that actually looks ideal for barn owls, so it ticks all the boxes on our list. It's away from the public because it's behind this fence. It's also looking out onto two different diverse meadow habitats that are managed for different biodiversity, different plant life. And it's next to some farmland that we know we have barn owls on during the winter. So hopefully if they're hunting over here in the winter, they see our box and they'll be coaxed in. We probably need to do a little bit of pruning on the tree because barn owls like to have a free flight path into the nest box. So we might selectively prune some of the branches to open it up so the box is more visible to them, but it allows them to come in with free access and allows also the chicks to fledge from the box safely with some other branches around.